All right, good morning, everybody. It is Thursday. Hope everyone's having a fantastic week so far. We have a jam-packed webinar today with our special guest with MarketingPro. Today's webinar is Generating Leads Online with Content Marketing. There's still a little bit more people joining in today, so just to let you know, this webinar is being recorded. It'll be about 30 to 40 minutes. We'll have some time for some QA at the end, and we encourage everybody to ask questions via the chat box and GoToWebinar. We'll answer it after the webinar is over. Also, listen in through your computer to avoid any long-distance charges. My name is Lester Tiro. I'm the Partnership Marketing Manager here at Advisor Websites. I'm very happy to have our guest from MarketingPro today. And joining in from Advisor Websites is our VP of Growth, Loic Jean-Jean. Loic, welcome to today's call.
Thanks, Lester. Happy to be here and super happy to have Janet doing us again the honor to be on our webinar. Every year we do a webinar with MarketingPro. It's always been great success and really looking forward to today's session.
And joining us is Janet. Janet, welcome to today's call from MarketingPro.
Thank you so much, Lester. Thank you, Loic. We have been a partner of Advisor Websites for, I want to say, about 6 years now, and we're just really happy to be partnered with you. Advisor Websites has an amazing product at a really good price and amazing service, so it's really a privilege to be here today with you.
Thanks, Janet. We're very happy to have you here today, too. So let's get to it here. I know there's about 5 people that just joined the webinar today, so just to let you know, just right now, our webinar is being recorded. It will be available on our blog in case you missed the first 2 minutes. Some key takeaways here. In this webinar, we'll be talking about how to identify and define conversions unique to your practice. We'll also be talking about how to generate qualified leads online using content marketing, and then best practices for turning qualified leads into happy clients. Stick around at the end. We have a special gift for everybody attending today's webinar. I'm going to turn on the slides here to Loic to start off everybody with what is content marketing.
Yes, thanks, Lester, and good morning or good afternoon, everyone. Here is a definition on the screen. I'm not going to read it, but essentially the way I look at content marketing, it is basically, in my opinion, a highly effective way to increase traffic, generate leads, enabling sales, and building these relationships, and also contributing to your search engine rankings. So it's very much like multifaceted in the outcome or the benefit that it can have on your business or your bottom line. What we want to achieve today is look at how you, a financial advisor or a member of the financial service industry, can use and leverage content marketing to improve your search engine rankings, better engage your audience, and your audience could be your existing customers or future prospects, grow your overall digital footprint, and then augment those relationships, right? Because when we talk about audiences, you're going to have everything that you talk about on social, on your web, and anything that you do digitally is going to cater to a variety of audiences. You're going to have your existing customers that already like to work with you and are going to be receptive to a specific side of your content, and then you have those that may be a referral or just are getting to know you, and you want to nurture these relationships and take them to a point where they are in a position where they feel like there's mutually beneficial opportunities to take these digital relationship to the real world. So that's kind of like in a nutshell what we want to accomplish today. When we move to the next slide, I've listed a handful of benefits of content marketing, anywhere from the search engine ranking, so what I've mentioned earlier, increasing traffic to your site, demonstrating your expertise, capturing leads or prospects through anything that you do online, and then nurturing, converting these leads, right? So we've talked about that. But really what's important here is when we look at content marketing and when we look at marketing in general, a lot of people will say, well, you got to add value. Yes, of course, it's a given. We have to add value. But really what I look at is we need to create quality content that not only is great for your readers, but also is going to benefit you overall ranking, or what I say, like your overall authority when it comes to search engines and the web in general. So I don't want to get into a lecture around like search engines and how Google operates, but basically in a nutshell, they employ the smartest people in the world and they got really, really good at creating algorithms that can analyze the content that you write and whether this is a relevant piece of content that is going to be a valuable piece of information to who is visiting you on your website, on your blog, on social. So they're able to like analyze all that data, and this is how they rank websites high or low. So the benefit is very much twofold. It's great value for your readers and it's great for your overall website performance. But at the end of the day, like anything in life, those that are bold, so people that are bold, that take risks, they will reap the benefits. And so my advice is don't be afraid to take risks, right? Like, don't be afraid to be bold. Set yourself apart from all the noise out there, right? Like a lot of the things that we're going to talk about today, they are not novelty, right? Like we're going to talk about blog, we're going to talk about social, we're going to talk about content, we're going to talk about a lot of elements today, and nothing is new, right? Like everything has been proven to work and bring success to those that do the right activities. But because that's so true nowadays, a lot of advisors are blogging, are active on social, are doing emails or webinars or podcasts or a lot of other activities. And so how do you set yourself apart from all these other advisors? Well, you got to find your voice. You got to find an angle or a niche in what is it that you talk about, and then really exploit that. That's what I say when, don't be afraid to take risks, is find your niche, find what you're passionate about, and then really, really push the boundaries and push the envelope. And you know what? What is the worst thing that can happen? Well, people don't like what you write, and you take that feedback, and maybe you change a little bit your angle, but nobody is going to be mad at you because you take a position on a topic that you're passionate about. So anyways, I think that's one of my suggestion or little tip of the day. Now, if we move to the next slide, there is a lot of type of content that you can add on your site or on your digital presence, and that can be blog posts, white papers, videos, webinar, infographics, images. Like lately, we're seeing a few advisors having some success with podcasts. But really, what I want to get at here is your target audience. It is difficult to know what is the content that is going to make them tick or move the needle. What is it that's going to move the needle? Some of your visitors, some of your audiences might be more receptive, for example, to infographics rather than a blog post. Or you may discover that you can achieve higher conversion rates through a presentation online, so like a slide that you post on LinkedIn and that you embed on your website, for example. And so you might receive or achieve better results with a presentation than a podcast, or that could be vice versa. It is hard to tell unless you try in a controlled environment, right? You don't have to go all in and buy tens of thousands of dollars of equipment to do a podcast for the first time. No, you can do that on a budget with an iPhone, with a Mac. I mean, And Lester could talk about that, but we've just started our very first advisor website podcast. I think we published our first episode last week or early this week, and we did it with virtually no budget because even though the ideas sound cool, we say, oh yeah, that's great, we're going to do a podcast. Well, we don't know, is it going to be a success? Are advisors going to enjoy it? Are we going to enjoy it, right? It's equally important that we enjoy doing this new activity and that it's also adding results or value to our advisor community. And maybe it's going to be a total success, maybe it's going to be a total bust. But unless we try it a few times without investing too much energy, time, and money into it, we will not know, right? So you want to try these little experiments and then see what works and what doesn't work. Every content type serves its own purpose or its own goal, and so as every audience has different needs, your experiment of these different content type is going to be very useful until you discover again which format works best for your business, for your niche, and for the different type of audiences that you're targeting. Again, a lot of advisors today, I think we have to 150 of you joining us in the webinar today, and every single one of you is targeting a very specific audience or niche. Some of you might be looking after small families with assets anywhere between $150,000 to $500,000, when another advisors might be specializing in group benefits for business owners with 50 plus employees, right? Every single one of you has a different group, a different niche, a different audiences that want to be educated. Everybody want to be educated, but is going to be receptive to different messages and different type of presentation and content. So experiment, be bold, try new things. If it works, fantastic. Double down, right? Spend more time and more energy, hire somebody, and dump some money into it. If it doesn't work, don't feel bad. Maybe it doesn't work for you, it worked for somebody else, or vice versa, but at least you learned something. And the outcome is, well, you did not invest a lot of time and money into a tactic that is actually not going to add any value or yield any results for you. So with that said, I'm going to pass that back to Lester, and he's going to get into more technical.
Thanks, Loic. So what Loic was saying, every audience has different needs, right? And that's why finding a target audience is crucial, because it's the key to creating an effective communication that hopefully converts to be a client of yours. After all, these websites that you create, they're a communication tool that provides value to your visitors. It's very much easier to communicate to a specific audience as opposed to appealing to the masses, right? And that's where the idea of a target audience comes to place. So like Loic said, not everyone likes the same thing. Not everyone seeks the same kinds of products, the same kinds of services. So it's important to know your specific target market and then cater to them. Well, you're probably asking, what is my target market audience? Well, that really depends. Your target audience is a representation of your ideal client. It also could be a representation of yourself, right? Your target audience is it could be a specific demographic who you want to provide solutions for. And so by zeroing in on who your target audience is and their potential pain points or their likes, you can really cater to the needs and the wants of your visitors. So it's a whole notion of a website as a communication medium that works between both the advisor and visitor. On your screen here, there's a little bit of a bonus buyer persona worksheet. I'm going to post it on the chat box. Feel free to download that during this webinar or after the webinar is over. But I'm going to move on here really quick because there's a lot of content to cover, but I'm going to talk about your website messaging and why it matters. So after you identified your ideal client, it's important to showcase your messaging on your websites. These are 4 key steps to nail. So I've touched base on defining your ideal client, so I'll speak to storytelling, the value of providing free resources, and briefly on live events here on my last bullet point. So storytelling, the best analogy I can provide to you is that you should think of your website as a dynamic digital 15 by 15 blank canvas, if you should say. It's an opportunity for you to showcase your personality, your business, along with complex financial concepts with a mix of content and pictures to make your website look very pretty. For example, you can tell your clients how you've helped other folks achieve their financial goals, or tell a story about your own previous financial struggles or how you found the path to freedom. As Louis said, you can find a niche. If you're passionate about boats and you relate to clients with the love of water, it's important to showcase your nautical pastime. This is a chance to showcase your personality and what you're into, because there's a lot of this same dry financial lingo articles out there, those cookie cutter websites. So you need to create compelling stories that clients will easily understand and, more importantly, relate to. The third bullet point here, people like free things. As Louis mentioned, we enjoy blog articles, we enjoy videos, white papers, free podcasts. We did a podcast last week about women in the financial industry. Check it out, it's on our blog. Just also remember, when you offer free items on your website, it's also important to capture the information of your visitors. In a digital marketing term, this is called lead magnets. And as a bonus, I'm going to talk a little bit about live events here. Workshops, seminars, they're good ways to showcase clients that you appreciate their business. You can host an event to focus on issues of your ideal clients frequently asked. But if you're not up for hosting a live event, you can always do a webinar, what we're doing right now, as an alternative, or what's pretty big in the financial space, or actually in the digital marketing space, is the YouTube live videos. You can host a YouTube live video, you can showcase your knowledge to your client, ask them poll questions during the presentation, et cetera, et cetera. You can be creative about it. So how does this tie into my website? Well, you can post a blog post to your website, you can promote your webinar, you can promote your live event on YouTube on your site. People can register to your event via your website using a registration capture form. I'm going to move on here to converting web visitors into leads. I don't want to spend too much time on this slide here, because a lot of great content we're going to cover. There's a lot of good stuff from MarketingPro that they're going to cover. But just a recap of what we just talked about. The key main points we have touched base on already: understanding your audience, keep your message simple on your website. This ties with identifying your ideal client so you can tailor your message to them. Also provide relevant information and content on your site, adding value into everything you publish. This is a slide where Louis chatted about the types of content on your website to provide to your visitors. But I'm going to move on here to the journey of content marketing conversions. So it's important to know, when it comes to content marketing, conversions isn't a direct one-on-one correlation. Just because you created a blog post doesn't mean you're going to see a conversion right away, or even a few days later, or maybe weeks or months later. You might see it. It's a long process. It might take a week if you're lucky, maybe several months. But the journey a lead takes within your inbound marketing strategy is a process. Sometimes it could take several months when somebody becomes a client. On your screen, a high-level overview of journey of content marketing conversions. So this is the journey of Scott. Scott, let's say he's 39 years old. He loves boats. He has a house. He's married. He has one kid. Scott found your website, probably from a Google search, or read about you in an article that you publish on financial magazines such as financialplanning.com, for example. He loves what he reads, so he Googles your name, finds your website on the first page of Google. He visits your site. He likes what he sees. He notices that you have this nautical theme on your website, so he's intrigued since he likes boats as well. Maybe he downloads an ebook. He had to put in his first name, his last name, and then more than likely he has an option to sign in for a newsletter. So he does. He signs in for your newsletter. You have a bi-weekly newsletter. Scott exits your website. He goes about his regular week, totally forgets about you and your website, and then one day he opens his email, finds your newsletter. Has some great tips on savings for buying a boat. Scott loves what he reads. He's intrigued, so he visits your website again, views a video that you uploaded. He likes it, but it's not just there yet. He doesn't pick up the phone. He doesn't schedule a meeting with you. But there's a link to your Facebook page on the site. So he decides he'll like it, so he can keep up to date with you on all your info on Facebook. The next week, you write an article about a dream boat you purchased when you were 39, sometime around Scott's age, and a story of how you were able to save up for it. You post it on your newsletter, you post it on your website, you also post that article on your Facebook business page. And then one Wednesday afternoon, Scott is scrolling on his Facebook feed, stumbles across an article about the boat he purchased when you were his age. He loves the article. It speaks to him, and he says, this financial advisor likes boats as well. I bet we have something in common. This speaks this language. Scott is intrigued by the passion of the water, and he schedules a meeting with you. He eventually becomes a client, and then 1 year later, you both are sailing on Scott's new dream boat. So all that for the journey of content marketing. So you're probably creating content nonstop already for a few months and haven't seen a single lead. Just remember, this content marketing is a process. It requires time, some patience, and maybe a little bit of marketing automation here with social media. So we still have a lot to cover here, but I'm going to pass it on here to Janet from MarketingPro. Janet, I'm going to give you my slides and the control to my keyboard so you can control the change of slides.
All right, sounds good. Thanks, Lester. So I really liked what you just explained about the process of a new client coming over. That's really realistically how it happens. It's not because of one thing you do, it's because of many things that you do. And having that online presence is so important. So if someone Googles your name, something should come up. Your link to your website should come up. Your social media platform should come up. So if someone you don't know Googles your name and nothing comes up, they're likely to just move on. They won't perceive you as being an established financial professional. So while your website might be the hub of that online presence, content is the heart of your marketing. And so having fresh, relevant, timely, and compliant content it's really crucial to your marketing success. So I'd like to start today by talking about prospects and how to convert them into clients. In addition to capturing leads from your website, we always stress the importance of connecting with every person you meet. It seems like a no-brainer. It seems so obvious, but it's amazing how many financial professionals don't do this on a daily basis. So if you really step back and think about how your business may look 20 years down the road, if you had connected with every person you met along the way, it's pretty impressive. And social media is a very effective way to grow your network. It's part of that online presence. And ideally, you should have a Facebook and a LinkedIn account. If you are targeting a younger demographic, such as millennials, you'll also want to have a Twitter account, and you'll want to post often. So you should friend or connect with all of your current clients, your prospects, and your friends and family. In addition to that, you should connect with every person you meet. So let's say you are attending a St. Patrick's Day party tomorrow. When you leave, connect with every person you met on social media. Kids are outstanding at this, and they literally connect with every person they know of, and we should really follow their example. Connecting on social media is a great way to expand your network. First of all, you can share informative articles, you can alert clients to deadlines, and you can invite them to events. Now, social media also offers you a great opportunity to show people who you are as a person. And Louis and Lester, you talked a little bit about that. It's a great opportunity for you to show what you're interested in. When we're talking about marketing here, we're not talking about trying to sell something. We're really talking about relationship building. So the more people know about you, the more opportunity they have to find things that they have in common with you and feel connected to you. And social media offers you the ability to also learn about what's going on in their lives. So people who don't post often still post major life events. So take the time to check your feed. We recommend do that while you're waiting. When you're in line at the grocery store or you're waiting at the airport, check your feed. Find out what's going on in the lives of your clients and then reach out to them with congratulations or a sympathy card, whatever's appropriate for the occasion. It really gives you a great opportunity to strengthen that relationship. Now, if you are capturing leads on your website, you'll most likely have a prospect's email address. These days, some folks actually still walk around with business cards, so be sure to always have some of those on hand to exchange with people that you meet. And if you have a prospect's email address, adding them to a drip marketing campaign is an ideal way to keep in contact with that prospect. So at MarketingPro, we estimate it takes approximately 6 months to 2 years for a prospect to convert to a client. Lester, you mentioned that. It takes time. And the bigger they are, as far as investable assets, the more sophisticated they are, the longer it takes. So there are studies also that show a prospect tends to convert most often between 5 and 8 touches. So it's not after the first or the second, it's between 5 and 8. So a drip marketing campaign offers you a way to keep in touch with that person. You can send them valuable, relevant information they appreciate receiving, and then when they are ready to contact you, they know how to get in touch with you. Now, maybe your goal is to keep the clients you have. I'm going to try and advance this. There we go. So maybe your goal is just to keep the clients you have. It's working well for you. Your business is doing great, and your goal is just to focus on the current clients. You do the best job you possibly can for them. That's a great plan if that works for you. But the question still is, are you communicating with them on a regular basis? If the number one reason clients leave their financial advisor is lack of content. So if you aren't in contact with your clients, somebody else will be, and it will eventually give them a reason to leave. So really, whatever your goal, whether it's to grow your business or just keep the clients you currently have, the plan is still the same. You need to connect with them on social media, and you need to stay in contact with them. Now, when you're deciding on what type of content to use in your marketing, there are some questions you'll want to ask yourself. Is your content relevant to your audience, and is it engaging? You can, if you want, you can choose types of content based on your client's interests, their age, or their lifestyle. So maybe you want to send your millennial clients or your retirees a newsletter designed specifically for them and that demographic. That's a very effective way to market, and it's easy to do if you have the right content available. Now, the best content provides some value. So if actually the Feds raised the interest rates, and so you should send something out to your clients on what that means to them. It's tax time, so send out an annual tax guide to your clients. Providing content with value, it really raises your stock in your clients' eyes. They know you're on top of what's happening, and they know you care about keeping them informed. Now, content may just encourage conversation. We have a quote here from one of our subscribers. I won't read that to you word for word, but the bottom line is he sends out our monthly economic update, and he was contacted by a prospect with questions, and that prospect really viewed the advisor as a resource and ended up becoming a client. Now, while the benefits of having a marketing plan in place are clear, there are really some challenges to implementing an effective marketing plan. And if you're going to have a comprehensive plan, there are a lot of bases to cover. There are a lot of choices. Loic was talking about this earlier. So number one is you need top-notch content. I mean, what do you send out? What do you post on your website? What do you post on LinkedIn? I'm sure you have the talent to write something yourself, but I'm also sure that you probably don't have the time. Another challenge is compliance. We love compliance. It keeps us out of trouble generally, but even if you find something you'd like to use or you decide to write something yourself, you still have to submit it to compliance before you use it. And then really the last challenge is implementation. How do you send it out, or how do you post it on your website? How do you keep in touch with your clients and your prospects? And more importantly, how do you do it consistently over an extended period of time? So this is really where MarketingPro can help you. We have a solution to those challenges in that our professional copywriters, we publish top-notch content, and it's written specifically for financial professionals. Our system is integrated with over 100 broker-dealer compliance departments. So if we have a partnership with your broker-dealer, chances are a lot of the content that you come across will already be approved and ready for use. And so we have a screenshot of our system here, and our system was really built as a relationship building tool, and the foundation of that is our content. So we have a huge variety of content as far as articles. We have a millennial and a lifestyle newsletter. We have economic updates. We have client event invitations. We have an annual tax guide. So you get the idea. It's really our goal to be your one-stop shop. So we want to be where you go for anything you might need to target your various client groups. We also have a practice management content. So you have the tools you need to help make running your business as easy as possible. And our system actually can send the content out for you via email or direct mail, and it can be automated. Now, one thing I want to highlight, we have thousands of pieces of content in our library, and we organize it into what we call browse boxes. These are these blue boxes you see here. And the first one is titled New and Relevant Content, so I just want to highlight that really quickly. So this it's our goal that when something is happening in Wall Street or the world, to have an article written that day. So this is an area where we really set ourselves apart from our competitors. The best example I can think of is that during 8 or 9 days of market chaos during the Brexit, it was announced there'd be a vote, and then the vote came in, and the markets were going crazy. So during that time period, we wrote 3 articles and 3 social media posts. We have an article we're almost ready to be posted. It's in the final proofing stages today on the Fed raising the interest rate. So we give you a compliant source of content available when something's happening. It's not weeks later after it's been FINRA reviewed. And we are also integrated with advisor websites. So if you have a MarketingPro account, you can connect to your advisor website's account with just a few clicks of your mouse. And then once connected, you can easily pull content over to your advisor website's dashboard and for it to then be posted on your blog or your website. So there's no manual uploading, and having that integration in place makes it really easy. Okay, so let's say you have all the content you need. The question still is, how do you deliver it to your clients and your prospects in a time-saving way? And the key here is really just to take advantage of this technology that's available to you. The integration I just showed you, that's one example of that. And marketing automation is really the other part of that solution. So when we're talking to advisors about an effective marketing plan, we recommend that they choose something that's published regularly. Choose something that you can send out on a consistent basis. And to make that easy for you, our system offers you a huge selection of pre-built automated campaigns. So those messages can be delivered via email or direct mail in the form of cards and postcards, and we can even send printed letters for you in the mail. And also, you can automate your social media posting in our system. So you can keep that social media presence updated with current and fresh posts, and you don't have to do it manually every day. You can automate that. So you just choose the subject categories you want to use, and the system can post to Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter automatically. So really the takeaway here is that the automation allows you to either keep the clients you have or to build your business, whatever your goal. But it still gives you the time to do what you do best, which is meeting with your clients and your prospects. Now, we've talked about some of the benefits of automation, but we also have them listed here for you. For referrals, we have that listed as number 1. It's really easy for your clients to refer you to a family or a family member or a friend when you have an online presence and when you're in frequent contact with them. If they have an email in their inbox and it's from you, it's really easy for them to forward that. We have prospect conversions listed here. So automatic drip campaigns are the key. They allow you to keep in touch with that prospect until they're ready to bring you their business. And if you have no way to stay in touch with them, they will likely lose track of you and they will just become a lost prospect. Client satisfaction increases. Clients are more satisfied because they know you are on top of what's going on in the markets and that you care about keeping them informed. It's just a perception that they are getting the best service possible. marketing automation allows you to reach more people using technology, and also saves you time because of all the technological advances that are available to you. It's an economical program, marketing in this way, and really, again, the biggest thing I want to highlight is that we're talking about relationship building here, and so it makes sense that putting these elements into place would help your bottom line. Now, whatever your goal, like I said, whether it's to build your practice or just keep the business you have, the process is the same. You want to have that online presence. You want to have a really, really nice, beautiful, attractive website. You want to have that social media footprint to comprise that online presence. You want to have access to content that you ideally don't have to write yourself, and you want to automate it to save your time. So that synergy really is the key. Now, I can talk about our business till I'm blue in the face, but I like to show these testimonials. These two advisors have been with us for 6 and 7 years respectively, and what we find when we talk to advisors who use our system and take advantage of that technology, they love it. And so I just wanted to share these with you. These are some statements. They have grown their business from 15 to 25% annually using our system. So it's really pretty amazing results, and I like to share those with you. Recommendations from actually. Okay, at this point, I'd like to just hand it back to Lester for questions.
Thanks, Janet, and thanks everybody for listening. We are still on the call. We do have some questions here, so I hope everybody, that was really informative. I know when you registered for today's webinar, I asked you, are you happy with your content marketing strategy? 24% of you said yes, 42% said not sure, and 30% said no, so total 72%. Hopefully you learned something today. If you do have any questions for us, we do encourage you to visit our website at advisorwebsite.com/blog. This webinar was recorded and will be available to you. To reach MarketingPro, their email address is sales@marketing.pro, and for advisor websites, it's marketing@advisorwebsite.com.
Just a question here from Sterling and Gabrielle. They had a couple of questions regarding content. They're asking if this is if you have Canadian-specific content.
A good question. Our content is general. It's U.S.-based and targeted towards those markets. And what we found in the past, unfortunately, is some compliance departments will not approve advisors who are in Canada. So that's a great question. I apologize for that, but thanks for asking that.
Thanks, Janet. I have another question here from Joe. Joe's asking if this is being recorded. Yes, Joe, it's being recorded. It'll be up on our blog shortly. It's advisorwebsite.com/blog. I also have a question here from Jackie. Jackie's asking, how much is your services for MarketingPro?
Good question, Jackie. We have a retail price, and then we have specially negotiated prices for broker-dealers that we have a relationship. So I mentioned we're integrated with over 100 broker-dealers. So what I would recommend is to call or email our sales team with the information there, and then we can review pricing.
Great. Thank you, Janet. There's another question here from Ashley. Ashley's asking, she already has a website here with Advisor Websites and wants to learn more about how to integrate MarketingPro with her website. Ashley, I'm going to reach out to you directly. There's a couple articles available on our resource library that I can send to you, and the integration is seamless. Just log in with MarketingPro, and then it pulls all the articles into your Advisor Websites dashboard, and it'll be very easy for you to publish your articles on your site. So I'll send you that to you and contact you directly. Let us know if there's any more questions, but that's all the questions that I do have here from the chat box. If you have more questions, feel free to send us questions at marketing@advisorwebsites.com, and for MarketingPro, you can reach them at sales@marketing.pro. Janet, do you have anything you want to add?
I think the only thing I want to add is that we talked a lot about marketing today, but I didn't really have time to show you kind of the ins and outs of our system. And so if you're interested, reach out to our sales team. They can do a screen share and do a personalized demo for you and talk about your marketing needs and decide if this is something that can really help you.
All right, everybody.
Thank
you so much for joining. Janet, thank you. It was a pleasure having you here. Hope everybody enjoys your day. Be safe. Have a great weekend. We'll see you soon in another webinar.